Charles Purcell presents.
God, I really have to go to the bathroom. Oh, here. Oh well. I'll try this place. It's an information desk. Excuse me? Hello? Excuse me, where's the bathroom? Hello?
You must travel high in the mountains to see the truth which you seek.
No, I think you misunderstood me. I just need a
Don't
bath.
come to me with your little petty, little trivial, little minuscule.
I'm just
little
looking for I'm just looking
problem.
for the men's room. And I don't know what you're...
If you want the answers to these
Look,
little
I don't want any
problems,
answers. I want one answer. Where's the men's room?
read Dear Abby. If you want to know the truth about the big stuff,
If there was anyone else here, I'd talk to
then
them.
sell everything you own.
You're the only one here, so I'm
Give
talking
up
to you.
your job
I
and
really,
travel to exotic lands
really
with
need the-
high mountains
really need the bathroom.
and
Will you
seek
please-
out the
You
truth.
please... Oh, God.
This is my advice to you.
Or any smoothie. The crazy carrot means your head because...
Oh, these are some really nice paintings you have here. You're quite a painter.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
They're so striking
Yes, they are.
and very realistic.
Yes, absolutely. I paint realistic. Only things I see.
Only things you see.
Yes. No fantasy, no abstraction. Everything's from real life.
From real life. Well, some of these look pretty fantastical. For example, this one here, these sort of demonic figures, horrible rape scenes.
Yes, that's taken from real life.
So you've seen this?
Oh, of course. I only paint from live models.
I don't understand. Who is your model for this one?
Well, he's right across the street. Don't you see him? Look out the window.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't see anything.
He's right there. He's been there for the last several days.
You mean the guy up on the roof? The guy pounding shingles?
Yes, of course. That's him.
And that's what you see. A demonic rapist.
Yes, of course. And not only that, I'm quite sure he's going to come over here and try to steal my job as a painter. I've got all my doors bolted because of the demon who's been there across the street. He's pure evil, and he's going to steal my job as a painter.
You think he'll steal your job?
Oh, I'm quite sure of it, unless something is done. And even more importantly, he's going to rape my daughters.
Okay, so there's a demon. Again, these paintings are quite beautiful in their own disturbing way. Here's one that's even worse. It seems to be some sort of a slaughterhouse where they're... I can't even look at it. They're slaughtering babies?
Yes, that's right.
Well, where in the world did you see this?
Well, it's right down the street. It's right here in our neighborhood. I'm sure you've walked by it many times.
What are you talking about? I don't
It's
understand.
right down on the corner, just a couple of blocks down. From here.
Down there?
Yes.
That's a women's health clinic down on that corner that you're talking about.
Obviously, you don't see it for what it is. I do.
Let's see, what else have you got here? Boy, these paintings. You're prolific.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If there's anything you'd like, make sure to make an offer.
This is some kind of a portrait, looks like, of a terrorist.
Yes.
Something you saw on the news.
No, again, it's right here in our neighborhood. If you'd only open your eyes, it takes an artist such as myself to open up.
There are terrorists in our
Right down on the other corner, from the other direction from the slaughterhouse.
You mean the corner store?
Well, I don't know what you see when you look, but
Do you have anything more uplifting? Something that maybe inspires you or makes you feel good or shows some beauty in the world? Or
Well, there's this one here. I'm feeling protected. No harm can come to me. This is a beautiful painting.
Yeah, actually, it is a beautiful painting.
It's a cloak of protection that covers me, and no one can hurt me or my family, you see, when I'm under this protection. I call it AR-15.
Okay. This one is just a very large painting filled with hundreds of subjects, and they all seem to be sort of angels and saints, and they have halos. And
The U.S. military. That's the title of that painting, the U.S. military.
all right. Oh, I see over here on the other side of your studio, you've got some. You also do portrait work. You do a lot of different types of paintings. I see you do portraits. Is this Wow! This one again, very striking. This is a portrait of.
That's my wife.
And she's in labor.
Yes, she's giving birth to our first child.
And you painted this.
That's right in the delivery room. No video or snapshots for me. I brought my easel and my canvas and my paints right into the delivery room.
And the doctors were okay with this?
Actually, no, they were quite upset about the whole thing.
Some other portraits here. Clint Eastwood, John Wayne's, some celebrity portraits.
Yes, that's from a series of paintings I did. It's called Good Guys with Guns. Good Guys with Guns, yes.
Wow. And, speaking of portraits, look at this. This is a self-portrait.
Yes, that's right. That's a self-portrait.
Unusual, though. Your face is planted on the floor with a big foot. A big boot on your head, and you're actually, as well, at the same time being strangled. So there's a boot on your head holding you down to the floor, and two hands coming and strangling you.
Yes, that's right. That's one of the federales, you see, the feds with their penchant for regulation. They decided that there was too much lead in my favorite brand of artist paints, you see, and they regulated the lead right out of my paints.
So you wanted to symbolize that by presenting yourself with a boot.
There's no symbolize. That's actually what happened. The feds came right in and they put their boot on my head and smashed me into the floor here right in my studio. It happened right over there. And then another one strangled me while they took the lead out of my paint.
And this actually happened.
Of course it did. I only paint from real life, you see.
A lot of artists will do landscapes, nature painting. Do you go out into nature?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. That stack over there, to take a look, see if there's anything you like.
I don't see any nature paintings. There's this stack.
Yes, that stack.
This stack has, I see there's a painting of strip mining and several paintings of development and what looks like maybe the Keystone Pipeline or some big pipeline. It's all a lot of trucks and excavation equipment and large machinery.
Yes, that's right.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't understand. I thought you told me these were paintings of nature, natural beauty.
Well, of course, the inherent beauty of nature is ultimately exposed when it's extracted for profit, you see. That's the inherent beauty of nature, is the fact that the raw materials can be extracted and the beauty is then exposed through profit.
So that's your idea of a nature painting, a beautiful natural landscape.
Yes, that's right. The beauty is extracted. That's the inherent place of the beauty.
Well, thanks for showing me your paintings, and you sell a lot of these.
Oh, they're very popular. Everyone loves my paintings all across the country, all across the world, actually. I get a lot of exposure, and I work very hard at them, and yes, I'm selling my paintings at a record clip. I'm doing quite well.
All right, well, thanks. Oh, here's one more. Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't meant to be seen. Put that back in the stack, lest the children walk in and see this. This is very sensitive.
Yes, I can see that it is. It's a quite graphic sex scene. I can see quite graphic.
Yes, that's right. It's called the gay agenda. The gay agenda. It's the gays forcing me to be gay with them.
Oh yeah, I do recognize. Yeah, that's you again. That's kind of a self-portrait. But why would you paint that?
Well, you see, it's because it's the gay agenda, and that's what they want. The gays, that's what they want.
All right.
Again, please put it back in the stack. It's meant to be not out on display.
Oh, sure, I could do that.
I take it out late at night, and I stare at it for hours and hours. But it's not meant to be seen by the children.
Got it. All right. Thanks for the tour of the studio.
Well, thank you. Come again.
Hola, amigo.
You know, I went home last Thanksgiving to see my folks, right? They're up there near the Wausau area there, and all the lakes and resorts and golf courses are. You should see it now. It's so built up since I was a kid, right? But it's still, nature and all of that. They haven't done away with that. It's looking good. So anyway, I go, and there's this big tree right in front of me as I'm taking this bend in the road about a mile south of my folks' house as I'm driving up there from, the south. And there's this big tree, and I couldn't believe it. It looked just like, who is that guy from that show? Remember? What was his name? Uncle Jed. Buddy Epson. That's the guy. Yeah, sure, it looked just like him. The tree, from the particular angle right around the bend as I was coming up to it, looked just like Buddy Epson. And so that would be weird enough, right? You'd think. But the reason that it looked, Jed Clampett, that was his name. Yeah, right. Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. Remember that? Everybody saw that. It was terrible. That was the one that Newton Minow, remember? Newton Minow was in I think in the Johnson administration, LBJ. He was a secretary of something. Maybe he was a FCC guy. Because he was critiquing the landscape of American broadcasting, and he cited Beverly Hillbillies, the show where the Jed Clampett character was, as an example of how horrible everything was in broadcasting, and and that not to be confused with Nixon's Vice President Spiro Agnew. He's the one who said the famous nattering nabobs of negativity, talking about the press. He was like the first guy to call like fake news. He didn't call it fake news. He just said they were negative and always bad, and they didn't like them. So not to be confused with him, Newton Minow was the one who said vast wasteland. That was his famous quote. Vast wasteland that broadcasting had become. So anyway, I'm driving and I see this tree that looks like Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies, and I thought that was pretty great. But the reason I'm telling you this story, that would just be one thing, like the potato chip that looks like Herbert Hoover or something. We've all heard those stories, or the Jesus in the toast. Those are just little weird things that happen. So I probably wouldn't even be telling you this story except the fact that this tree looked like Buddy Epson, Jed Clampett. And right next to it, as I turned the bend there, the reason the bend is important because I couldn't see it until I made the turn, then the littler tree right next to it looked exactly like Granny. No kidding. I'm not kidding. No, I'm not even kidding about this. It's like the real thing. And I never noticed this when I was a kid. I don't know, trees grow. And I guess when I was younger, maybe they looked like Punky Brewster or something. I don't know. They didn't look like Jed and Granny. So there's Granny, Remember Granny? She was the one who didn't want to take the trip, and they put the rocking chair up on the top of the big truck there. And hey, Granny, come in. She's in the song too, right? It's just you pour out in your bread. Then one day, who shooting his foot up through the ground, come bubbling crude. And Granny didn't want to go. I thought she was in the song, but maybe not now that I think about it. So there, up there in Wausau, Wisconsin, on the bend in the road. It says you're south as you're coming in. Take a look next time you're there. There's Uncle Jed and Granny and the landscape of today's television. I don't know if it's much worse. We'll talk about that another time. I got lots of opinions on the TV and on broadcasting in general, because that's kind of my thing anyway. So, all right. This is Chucky Bucky. I'll see you next time.
And now it's time for this week's Song of the Week from the And Now It's Time for Singers.
If you stand any closer to me, I'll have you arrested. If you don't take your hands off my knee, I'll have you arrested. If you say that my lips are divine, I'll have you arrested. If you hang your coat too near to mine,
Don't be scared, I'm just loosening my tie. I'm not being forward. Hope my glance didn't fall on your thigh. I'm not being forward. Would you care to have dinner tonight? I'm not being forward. Never mind, it just wouldn't be right.
if you say one more word, don't you know?
I know you'll have them arrest me. Can I just say goodbye then and go?
You don't want to test me. So you think you're clever? I didn't say never.
Then you'll call off your dogs and be nice.
That's not what I'm saying.
Couldn't we just relax, break the
I've
ice?
got mace for spraying. Oh, I suppose if you're good and polite,
Yes, that I can promise.
we could talk, and it might be all right.
Hi, my name is Thomas.
I'm Eileen. I don't mean to be scared.
Nor I to be threatening.
It's just-
I know you must be prepared. Trust is earned over time, so they say that we are attracted. Better research the laws that today
have just been enacted.
I may love you in time.
But till then, here's a dime.
Call your lawyer, and I'll call mine.
Well, 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 if it isn't William of Ockham. Good morning, Friar.
Hello, Chatton.
Please, I've told you. Call me Walter. Engaging in our morning ablutions, I see. We must make haste or be late for prayers. Beautiful morning, isn't it?
I suppose.
Ah, good Friar. We suppose nothing, do we? We are men of learning, after all. We stand on the shore of knowledge, setting out to the horizon of discovery, yes?
Yes.
On the winds of reason, we raise the sail of science, on the mast of logic, with hypothesis as our glass, ready, with God's will, to discover what lies ahead.
Must you go on, Chatton?
Why so coarse, Will? Ah, well, you'll feel better after a good shower and shave, as they say. Yeah, that's a very nice razor you've got there. I say, Will, do take a dollop of my shaving cream. It's all the rage.
No, thank you.
Of course, the first and primary step is to prepare your skin. I've brought some hot water from the fire. Plenty for all.
My razor is quite sufficient to the task, thank you.
And here, you'll see I've got a soothing balm for when the deed is done. I would be most proud to share it with you.
I'm no loiter sack.
Of course you're not a loiter sack, good man. I'm offering to improve your morning ritual, huh? Here. Just wrap this hot towel around your face.
Hang it, man, why must you make everything so complicated?
The answer to a good shave involves more than your simple razor, William of Ockham. There are multiple possibilities to improve on the efficacy, the pace, as well as the comfort of the procedure. You must be open to all options.
crooked-nosed knave.
Name calling, are we? I'm just trying to help.
You're not helping. You're needlessly complicating things, you coxcomb.
Coxcomb, am I? Well, you're fusty lugs.
Muckspout.
Edgeborn.
Mandrake.
Scabbylar.
Fopdoodle.
Quizbig.
Yolson. Cumberworld.
Ragabash.
Laverita.
Excuse me, sir. We're having a little get-together at our church this weekend, and you're invited.
No,
Crusade for Christ Spectacular Weekend Blowout Jesus Jam and Bible Bazaar.
Look, I'm not interested.
There's a grand prize giveaway.
Hey, come on, you really think you can hook me with some past the hot dish party and the chance at a free garden hose and then convert me to your religion? I mean, you think I'm that gullible? You think I'm that impressionable?
You're right. What was I thinking? Are these your kids? Well, here, kids, take an invitation activity sheet.
What do you think you're doing there?
Free candy and balloons.
My kids, let's
Plenty
get
more
out
where
of here.
these came from. Well, okay, then. We'll see you at school, then.
I came from California, and I drove here, right? I drove all the way. Ew. Mountains, man, they were so cool. They were amazing mountains, man. Drove them up and down. This cop stopped me, though. He said I didn't use my turn signal, man, right? I'm going into this, you know where you pay like a toll on the freeway? And all of a sudden, it goes from like 3 lanes to like 8 lanes. These lanes just kind of come out of nowhere, man, right? So you can go through all these booths to pay your toll, man. So I'm like in the right-hand lane. All of a sudden, there's like 6 lanes in front of me. I just keep going straight, and I kind of wind up into one of them. So I pay my toll, man, and then as I'm leaving, this cop pulls me over, and he says he's pulling me over because I didn't use my turn signal. It just went from 3 lanes to like 12 lanes, man. There's no turning involved, but I didn't argue with him because he was a cop, and I should tell you now, man. I had just come from the Grand Canyon. I was taking a cross-country trip from Santa Cruz, California, all the way across, and I stopped. I went the southern route, man, and I stopped at the Grand Canyon. Well, my plan was, and always is, because I've done this trip a couple times, right, in a couple different vehicles, right? So when I do it, I to save money, and I'm on my own, man, right? So I just stop when I'm tired. I just pull over into a rest area, and I sleep. I don't bother getting hotels and spending all the money on that. And I'm all by myself, so I don't have to get all showered and do my hair and blah, 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 all that. So anyway, this is like my 4th day on the road, man. So I'm all kind of, my hair's pretty greasy and it's really long. And I'm kind of dirty and a little smelly, and I haven't taken a shower. And when I pull over, I sleep. And so I look like a hippie, right? I look pretty like a dirty hippie to this guy. And I'm not sure where I was. Where was I? I was in Arizona or Wyoming or some kind of red place, you know. And this tough cop pulls me over. And here's what he does. He says, you go sit in my car. So what? Now, he did all sorts of things that I didn't have to agree to. I mean, I got my constitutional rights. He didn't have to stop me and ask me to get out of my car and go sit in his car with him. I didn't have to do any of this, but I did it because I was scared, man. And I'm a white dude, but I just for a little bit of I got just a tiny taste of that profiling thing that black dudes have to deal with all the time, man. He's asking me, boom, boom. He's peppering me questions, where I've been sleeping, what you've been doing, where you're coming from. And I'll tell you the truth, I didn't know exactly where I was. You get on that highway, whatever it is, and you're on the same highway for like a day and a half. I don't know. I just knew I was heading east, man. So I didn't really know where I was, and I couldn't really answer his questions. And if I tried it, he made me all nervous. So I tried to remember what city I come from, and I told him, and then I thought, well, that doesn't sound right, man. I don't really know. So he's just looking for any excuse to make a little collar for himself. Again, profiled me. Obviously, the no signal thing was an obvious, excuse. It was a ruse. And I'm thinking about my black dude friends. It's like, oh, this is what this is. They profile you because you don't look right. You look like you don't belong. And then they pepper you with questions. Find some bogus excuse to look in your car. Yeah, I didn't like that, man. I didn't like that at all, man. Look a little different. Look a little disheveled. Don't look like you belong. It reminds me, not too long ago, a year or two ago, I was doing some freelance work for a guy. And I'd go to his house to pick up my paycheck. I'm not going to tell you where this is because it happens everywhere. But he lived out in a real nice suburb. I heard him once say that I lived in the city. Oh, you couldn't pay me to live in the city, he said. I said, okay, well, that tells me something about you. So anyway, I got to his neighborhood out in the suburb, and it's nice. Whew. These real clean, beautiful neighborhood streets that kind of curve real slow and smooth through the neighborhood. These big trees, these big houses, rocks along the driveway, beautiful lawns all green and trimmed just to the right height, and they got flowers. Oh, it's beautiful. No sidewalks in these neighborhoods, you'll notice. They don't want sidewalks. They don't want people walking. They want people driving right into their, open up that automatic garage door and drive in. You don't want to be walking in this neighborhood. The point of my story, the reason I brought this up, is there's a sign. I saw a couple of them. Neighborhood watch. Neighborhood watch. We call the police if we see something suspicious. Said something like that. I knew what it meant. You see anybody doesn't look like you belong here. Ooh, gonna get the nice neighborhood police looking at you. Yeah, you can't be driving cross country and, with long greasy hair and looking kind of disheveled. 6-day growth of beard, and they'll pull you over. You walk in a neighborhood where you don't belong, they will call the cops. They got it right on the sign there warning you. And I'm a white dude, man. I knew what that sign meant. I knew they weren't talking about me. They're talking about my black dude friends or my brown dude friends. I'm a white guy. I got privilege every day, all the day long. But I got just a taste, just a little taste. You don't belong. You're gonna make trouble for us. I got just a taste of that. This episode of Charles Bursell Presents is available right now wherever you find your podcasts. Or go to the website charlesbursell.com for the full archive and all the other series in the podcast family. Follow, comment, and contact me on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks to our flagship station, River West Radio, riverwestradio.com. Theme music composed and performed by Peter Donalds. From the New Arts and Media Studios in Milwaukee, I'm Charles Bursell.